And we're live. We're good to go.
Hojun, you're gonna have to straddle the side a bit.
All right.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Gavin's gonna get the Instagram live going, and then we'll call this a party.
So like when you do the live, there's no like
There's no text
Like-
added features.
there's this, but that's like it's not.
Is it on live?
Yeah.
He's gonna set it to live right now.
Wow.
I gotta turn the camera around.
So yeah, we're gonna have all of our fangirls watching. There's a couple. There's a couple fangirls there.
There we go.
All right, so we got our friend Hojun here, our first official real Korean on the show. Hey man, like,
How does it feel
How does it feel? How does it feel to be a real Korean?
on this show?
Hello, this is Hojun, and I'm the friend of Garrett and Gavin. And I'm really exciting to be this show. And
You don't have to. You don't have to do
It's a
whatever.
big American show.
You don't have to do.
I want to do like a
Whatever
like
you're
a
doing, you
natural,
don't
but
have
it's
to do
really
it.
hard. Yeah,
Like an actual showmanship voice.
yeah, it is.
Yeah. Coming to
Hi.
you live from Daechudong.
No man. So we're just gonna. Can someone give me a beer? Is that mine? The
You
glow.
could have that
Yeah.
Yeah. We're just gonna keep doing what we were doing at the restaurant, but we're just gonna do it
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we keep it casual.
So-
I'm coming up on a year back in Korea, guys.
yeah. When did you get here?
My contract started, I think, at the end of last August. So I actually
Last
just
August.
I just signed my new contract. So been back a year. This year flew by pretty quick.
Yeah, dude.
And I've never been buffer, you know, guys. I've just been I've been lifting the weights, and it's working. You know what I mean? So I decided to go with the V-neck today.
Oh yeah.
Psych, I think I wore all my other favorite shirts already on this show.
Nice. Yeah. I was thinking about that myself.
And who can be teach me again for this cigarette?
Cigar.
Sir, this is a cigar.
Okay.
Yeah, so Hojun, this is your first cigar?
No. Before I tried with Gavin from the Mod Festival, right?
Yeah, but you just took a puff or two. You didn't have.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is your first like full cigar.
Right.
You know
That's
what I mean?
true.
So
Right.
if you get like a little woozy, you can just put it down.
Okay.
Don't
Yeah,
worry.
Please
about
don't
it.
throw up.
Please don't throw up on us. Yeah. No throwing up allowed. If
I'll
you
just
do,
put-
there's a bathroom over there.
Yeah, I want to make you like a Korean style pizza with the throwing up.
Did you know that?
What?
That they say Korean style pizza is like a puke pile.
Yeah.
It's like blah, just on the
everything.
ground, and you're like, I made a pizza because it's a circle.
Man. I understand that already too well.
Yeah, that's Korean slang.
Yeah, if you feel hungry, I can make for you guys.
Make a pizza. Nice.
Yeah, I hear, you know, like this is a pretty nice apartment compared to like what most people have as far as studios go,
Uh-huh.
and it's close to my job, so I can't complain. But like, they were doing construction on this building forever, which was really annoying. But besides that, thankfully they're done. I just hear Ajishis fucking just yuking in the alleyways like pretty
You
consistently.
hear him puking?
I just hear
Yeah.
like oh, or like I just hear I hear Ajishis puking in the alleyway right there, like at least once a month.
Adrashi is an older man.
I think it's a good feeling for you.
Yeah, it's a
I mean,
cultural
yeah,
experience.
It's a cultural experience. So you can know like a more Korean.
Yeah, I think it's hard for people who've never been to Korea to understand like how big the drinking culture is in Korea. You know what I mean? Like when my friend Jake came to Korea, I became friends with my friend Jake in Chicago because we both were getting TOEFL certified there. And like we both were like, okay, like I was leaving Chicago and I was like, dude, next time I see you, we're gonna be in Korea. So then like I left Chicago and then I moved to Korea and then I was here for 3 months before he actually got here. But then when he got here, he was like, dude, you've been here 3 months. Like to him that was like an eternity. You know what I mean? He's just like, dude, you've been living in Korea for 3 months. You know what I mean? Like because I mean it was his first time ever, you know, leaving home, just like it was mine really. And so the first thing I had to tell him about, I was like, dude, they drink on another level here. And he was just like, what do you mean? Like they drink alcohol, we drink alcohol. I'm like, you don't get it. Like, they drink on another level here. And as I was trying to tell him about the Korean drinking culture and how just insane it is, like, we're in a Subway at 2:00 in the afternoon on a Sunday, and Ajuma, which is an older woman, she just starts puking, like, behind her cell phone. She opens up her cell phone case, like, you know how they turn, like, a phone into, like, a wallet? She opens it up and just, like, just starts puking all over the place. And I'm just like, you see what I'm talking about? That's what I'm fucking talking about. Right there, Jake. And he's just like, what is wrong with her? You think she's sick? I'm like, no, she's just drunk.
She's fucked up, Jake. That's what they do here.
She's just drunk. Like, that's what they do. Yeah. Like, and he just is like, are you, like, how do you know she's drunk? And then I'm like, dude, she was drunk for sure. Like, in America, we're not used to seeing, like, old people getting fucked up in the middle of the day and puking on the floor. You know, like,
well, I've only seen that once, and when it was like, Gavin moved to Korea before I did, like, maybe by, like, 5 months. So then I get here for June, and I've been here for a few months, and I've learned that, like, yeah, the drinking culture is strong. Like, the older generation, they like to hit the makgeolli, they like to hit the soju, and I'm explaining this to my ex-girlfriend, who was a 19-year-old girl still in college, and she was going to visit me in Korea. And so I'm telling her about this stuff. I'm like, yeah, they drink a lot here. We're going to have a good time. But I've warned her all these things. She comes here for Chuseok, and she's on the subway with me. She might have been here like a week or so. She was like, she kind of got the gist of, the nightlife and stuff. But it's Chuseok. And so there's ajushis out drinking all day, and we're on the train, and it's like packed. So I wouldn't say it's packed. Like, let's just say all the seats are taken, and there's a few people standing, but all the seats are taken. And so I'm like, all right, Shannon, you go over and you sit on that side, and then I'll sit on that side because they're the only seats that are open. And so she sits down, and I'm looking across the aisle, and I realize, like, the two older guys that she's sitting next to are fucked up. Like one of them is like fucking about to pass out, and the other man's like, hey, wake the fuck up, man. Like, keep it together, dude. Like, stay with me. Like he's just trying to, he's like, hey, man, fucking get your shit together. And he's just, like, muttering, like, grumpy old Korean to his friend who's, like, about to black out in the middle of the afternoon on a train. And then I'm just like, wow, they're fucked up. I'm like, it is Chuseok, it's like, I guess, a chill holiday. And then I'm just, like, thinking about it, and then, like, 5 minutes goes by, and I'm just looking at my feet because, like, Shannon's over there. I don't want to chat. I don't want to talk loud and be disrespectful to the old people that are fucked up, drunk across the train. They'll yell at you if you're too loud. And so I'm trying to be respectful to these drunken idiots by not yelling to my girlfriend on the other side of the train. Anyways, then all of a sudden I feel a splatter of wet on my feet because I'm wearing flip-flops. I'm like, what is spraying my feet? And then all of a sudden I look over, and the dude that was all fucked up is now just puking his brains out right on the floor in the middle of the train. And Shan is like, dude, and I'm like, she's like right next to her, and she still doesn't know. I'm like, Shan, can't remember. She's like, huh? I'm like, get on her. And she's like, oh my God. And then, like, the whole train car, like, literally everybody in the entire train car just, like, fucking get the fuck stampede in both directions out of there. I'm just like, yeah, man, fucking drinking in Korea, man. And she's like, you weren't kidding.
Garrett, give me your phone so I can start the timer because I'm on top of my shit. Because I'm, like, fucking professional.
Oh, yeah, I noticed your cigar went out, Hojun.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, here. You could do it.
Yep, thank you.
You gotta learn somehow. So yeah, man, you're a real Korean, but didn't you study in Germany or something like that?
Yes, I was born in Germany, and
born in Germany.
Yeah, and I growing up to 10 years. So
in Germany.
So you're a German citizen?
No, I'm not. But it's different.
How does that work? How are you not a German citizen? You're born there.
I think it's like from Germany. They're not giving the citizen if they are born. I mean, if the people they are born there.
That sucks.
I mean, if I living there up to like 18 years, like, and then I can just choose like Korea or German.
You have to do one or the other. You can't do both.
Is it lit?
Oh no, it's not working.
Here.
Yeah, you want to go first?
I'll do it for you.
Thank you.
I'll continue your story. So
So yeah, I just came here when I in my second elementary school,
Yeah.
and so I'm perfect of Korean, but I knew I growing up from Germany, and it's totally different for the German life and Korean life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
They drink a lot in Germany, though, right?
Yep. So when I
But-
came here in Korea, many people they are asking me, "Did you drink more beer than water?" Like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stereotype.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a stupid
Yeah.
asking. Yeah.
Yeah. They give 10-year-olds and 8-year-olds more beer than water there because
Yeah.
the water's not safe to drink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're only a kid when you live there.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of people who ask a lot of dumb questions. Garrett and I get a lot of stupid twin questions.
Oh, dude, Andrew, my co-teacher, my co-worker, just asked me one of the classic dumb ones, and I mean, it was the heat of the moment, like, you're a real twin. Wait, you know, what I mean, I'm just like, here it comes,
Some stupid
here it
twin
comes.
joke.
He's just like, wait, like, have you ever had your twin like take a test for you? Like, say you don't want to take a test, like make him do it, right? And I'm just like, nah, man, I haven't. And he's just like, really? Why not? I was just like, because get this, he's a real person, and he doesn't want to. He's not my slave, so I can't make him do it.
You know, shocker, he doesn't want to take my test either.
Yeah.
So you guys have not any culture shock over in Korea?
I mean,
Yeah, I had some for sure.
when
My
you say
first time.
culture shock, a lot of people like when they think culture shock, they mean like you start missing home really, really bad. Like for example, like they told me at the TEFL Academy, like you're gonna experience some culture shock, and I was like, okay, what does that mean? You're just gonna get lonely? They're like, no, you're gonna start to crave weird things. You're gonna miss weird things. So for example, like when I got to Korea, the only culture shock that I ever really felt was out of nowhere. I had a really big craving for McDonald's.
Gravy McDonald's.
Yeah, but like I never eat McDonald's. Like I have probably eaten McDonald's twice in the last like 10 years. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, and like one of those times was in Korea. But it wasn't because I was craving it. I was actually doing a pub crawl, and I was like really fucking drunk, but we still had a long night of pub crawling to go. I was like, I need my medicine, guys. I need medicine fast. I'm not gonna finish this pub crawl. So they're like, all right, get this guy some food. And then they're like, I'm like, what do we got? What's on the menu? They're like, McDonald's. I'm like, is that it? And they're like, yeah. I was like, all right, I need it. I need my medicine, or I'm not gonna be able to finish this. But yeah, I just craved McDonald's. But that was like the only culture
Like,
shock.
you told me one time you were craving like hip hop music.
Oh no,
like
no,
the
oh
rap-
yeah, I
The
forgot about
hip-hop
that.
music.
I wasn't
like a K-pop.
I wasn't craving hip hop music, but what happened was I remember the first time I went to Hongdae,
Uh-huh.
we went into a club and they were playing like American hip hop, and I was just like, fuck yeah, my people, my music, my culture. Like even though it's like you can't get any more white than me, and like when I was in the States, like I like hip hop, but it's not like my favorite, you know? And I would never be like so excited to listen to hip hop music. But like when I got to Hongdae,
It's Lil Wayne.
I was like, fuck yeah, I love this song. I'm like, no, I really don't. But like right now I do. It's just because I'm in Korea and I'm like, they fucking listen to this in Korea. Obviously, the whole world does, you know? But
I was really culture shocked. I was pretty culture shocked when I first moved here, like the first time, like 2014, because then I lived here for 9 months in Kachisan over near
Kachisan,
Mokdong.
okay, yeah.
And then and I had some culture shock then because and it wasn't even that like it was that crazy. It was more like I just was like missing my girlfriend and shit.
I just dropped Ash,
Nice.
which is insane. It was not even that. It wasn't that long.
But I was like mainly just missing my girlfriend and missing all my old. I mean, I just came out of college. College is so fun, and I had such a great time in college because I made it my like. It was like, all right, if I'm gonna go to college, I'm gonna go to college and get all I can out of it. So I had a great time. So then it's like, all right, that's over. No more girlfriend. Living in a different country, and then the place that they moved me in was Kachisan's a little. It's like really crowded Seoul.
It is.
You know what I mean? Like
It's old.
it's
Yeah.
like older Seoul and it's crowded. Like I'm walking on the street and there's like no fucking room on the sidewalk, and I am smelling the sewers and the air pollution's pretty heavy. I'm just like, what the fuck? I thought this place was like cleaner. And so I'd go over to Gavin's place in Bucheon. And I'm like, here we go. Like, you got some sidewalks.
Big sidewalks,
You got
big
some
streets.
fucking sidewalks.
Many
That's
other
nice.
shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go to
Bucheon's
the
not a cool area. It's just newer.
Yeah, it's just a newer satellite city.
But so I was a little bit culture shocked for, I don't know, maybe like a month or something like that. But I got over it real quick. No big
And
deal.
also, I have one question. I mean, like, I never been in America, but usually I don't know, it's only me or the other Korean, but maybe the people there think about like California is like a cool places of the world,
Yeah.
like good beaches and not for that bitch. It's hard to be for the pronunciation.
Beaches. Yeah.
Beaches,
Good
yeah, okay.
beaches.
Beaches, not beach.
Yeah.
I thought you said bitches. Good bitches. I'm just like, it's a bit strong and forward, but whatever, you know. Hojun,
Okay, yeah.
Hojun likes the girls, you know. So.
And usually, like the people, like Korean people, they are watch on movie of California, so they have a maybe California dream.
Oh, absolutely. for
Yeah, I
sure.
think so.
Yeah.
It's only parts of California that are good.
I totally have gotten that. When I first got to Korea, and I told, I mean, this only happened once. It's not like all Koreans are this fucking dumb, but this one girl, I was like, yeah, I'm from America. You know, just moved here, and she's just like, where in America? And I was like, California. And she was like, you don't look Californian. I was like, but she
Why?
said it like, I was like, I'm from California. She's like, you don't look like it. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you look like you're from New York. And I was like, what are you talking about? I've never been to New York once in my life. She's like, you have brown hair, so you look like you're from New York. If you were from California, you should have blonde hair. And I was just like,
The fuck?
Try harder.
I was like, why are you coming at me so like she was so confident too. She wasn't even like, I thought all Californians had blonde hair. She was like, no, you don't look like it. Like almost like you're lying. Your story's a lie. You're from New York, aren't you? Like, you know what I mean? I was just kind of like, but I think it was also maybe the language barrier. Like her English was a little bit more
Direct.
to the point and direct than it probably would have been if she was a higher level English speaker.
Yeah, that's a thing. Like with Asian languages, they have such a like a structured, built into the language formality, as
Yep.
you know. Well, with like English, as you know, because you fucking speak English, like it's like kind of more. It's not so structured when you're speaking politely. It's like
You don't have like completely different way of conjugating the verbs.
yeah, there's not like all right, you put this word before and now it's formal. It's like a little bit more just like it's like a little finesse. What's the word I'm looking for?
It's a little bit more body language, a little bit more tone.
Yeah, tone, body language. Like maybe you put a please here, maybe you put an extra thank you there, or maybe it's like, do you think? You know what I mean?
Yeah, instead of being like, can you do this? It's like, are you able to do this? You know?
Yeah, something like that. So it's like, it might be more difficult for Asians when they're learning English to learn how to speak like more politely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like I remember when my first serving job in Los Angeles, there's a lot of tourists there. And I remember sometimes we get some like Chinese people coming in and they come off so rude because they're just like, you server, bring French fry. You know what I mean? It's like please would be nice, you fucking asshole.
Or they'll just be like, burger, soda. It's just like, whoa, hello, like,
I didn't know you were a king. Like,
yeah, like, how are you doing today? You didn't even let me say like a greeting. You know?
Yeah.
One time, I don't know, I can't remember which country they're from, but they just grabbed my arm as I was walking by. They just fucking grabbed my arm. I was like, whoa, okay. You could say like, excuse me next time. Don't just grab me.
Dude, I've been in Korea a year, and I've been studying a little bit of Korean each day, and I finally learned how to say "excuse me."
Jesus.
I don't know why it took so long to get that. Like, you'd think that'd be one of the first things they put on this application I'm using, but "Chile hamnida" is like, it's pretty complex. You know what I mean? It's like what, 5-6 characters. You know what I mean? So it took a while to like get that far, and I'm just like, that's a really useful thing. I wish
Yeah.
I knew a year ago.
Yeah, I think I remember a couple times when I didn't know how to say excuse me in Korean. I'd just be like, excuse me, fuck. And then I just excuse, then I like kind of like, get the fuck out of the way.
And then they
just
heard
get the
only
fuck out of
fuck.
the way.
Yeah.
I'm like just fucking move. I've been here for like 5 minutes trying to get you out of my way. Like when I was at the Seoul SNU Seoul National
Seoul
University,
University.
Seoul Daehakyo.
Yeah.
I was riding my skateboard on the sidewalk, and I was coming up behind a bunch of girls, and they were walking shoulder to shoulder, and they were walking slow, and I was like, "Can you excuse me?" And I was like, so I said, "Excuse me," yeah. And I said excuse me in English, and then
Okay.
I said excuse me in Korean,
Yeah.
and then I was like, fuck, they're Chinese. I don't know how to say it in Chinese. So I was like right back to like, excuse me. And then like one of my classmates was even like behind me. He's like, you don't have a bell? I'm like, yeah, I have a bell. Like on the controller.
Yeah.
On the controller. So I was like, fuck. It was like right back to day one in Korea. Can't get around someone. Yeah. But
Where did you live in Germany?
It is like a small town. It's called Aalen.
Aalen.
Yeah, and my father, he was a miner, because like a long time ago, I don't know for when was the president. The president name was Park Chung-hee, and he sent.
Korean
So he
president.
bring and he bring many. He just doing the business with Germany. Like he sent many the workers of mining works and nurse.
and
So-
nurses.
Yeah, nurses. So it was like a long time ago. The histories.
I wonder
and
why. I wonder why they needed
60s,
nurses.
70s?
60 was it's starting like a maybe 60, like a 60, and Korea was really
right
poor.
after the Korean War.
Yeah, after Korean War.
Yeah.
So Korea was really poor, but we need to make a money. So like from in our the country. So, and my father, he just doing for the volunteers of that work, and so he worked from there
Yeah.
like almost 20 years,
Damn.
and I have a good memory, and it was a really good. He's saving a good money than Korea at that time,
yeah.
and he came back because maybe he missed the family.
And also maybe living in Germany was way better than living in Korea at that
the
time.
time.
You know what I mean? Like
Same.
post war, like maybe Korea's not the hot spot to be. You know, let's fucking go to Europe.
He's
I
like
think
a young
my-
dude, right?
Yeah,
He's a
maybe
young
my
guy.
dad, he missing soju or like a
Maybe.
makgeolli. Yeah.
Did your dad like? Did he like? How did he meet? Was he married before he moved? Or did he meet his wife there?
he
Or
m-
something?
He met
Your
my dad. He met my mom after when he was in Germany. So
So
I don't know
like
how
a
can I
nurse
say
or
in
something?
English of that. Like some of we have a like a system, and there it's like a blind date or something like
Oh,
that.
right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
Back in the 60s.
and
But
like
what was your mom doing in Germany? Was she a nurse or something?
no, she was not nurse. He just bring my dad. He just bring to Germany, and
He
like
brought her?
Oh,
Okay.
so they met before?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and before I heard from my dad, it was like a good job when he was working from Germany.
Yeah.
Like he just looking like a good man, like for
Yeah.
with only for the job,
Right, right.
like a white like a for, how can I say for that?
White collar.
Business
Yeah,
man.
white collar job.
Yeah, white collar job.
Yeah.
Wait, which I don't even. It's in America. It's like, are you white collar? Are you blue collar? I don't even fucking know.
Blue collar is like
the working man.
the
right?
working man, and white collar I think is like upper middle class.
But
So-
it's usually it's like a blue collar because he's working really hard work.
yeah.
But like at the time, like it was a good condition for the working. Like
Right.
he got before, like the Korean people, they are working really really hard. Like there was they working like almost whole day for making a money. But Germany, they just working like for 5 days and for
And then get
for
a
the weekend and weekend
Yeah.
they have a weekend. But Korea was not like that. They just knew for only for working and getting a money because of the country was really poor, and also they just thinking of for the family.
Yeah.
So they have to be making the money to the family.
Yeah, my girlfriend, she said that her parents, she said that like the whole concept of having like the weekend off, like 2 days, is
Mhm.
like a pretty new thing in Korea. Apparently, like her family, it was like they work 6 days a week. That was normal, and you'd have 1 day off.
That's
You know what I
true.
mean? And it's like the whole like 2 day weekend is like a big deal that like came to Korea not that long ago.
Dude, my buddy Tyler, he lives and works in Beijing.
Uh-huh.
And
Here, 1 second. You should ash it before it falls
Okay.
off. So just press slightly.
Like this?
You don't have to tap it. You can just press it off.
Oh, like this?
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
but it worked. Yeah.
You don't want to tap. You don't want to tap it because then you could potentially crack the wrapper.
Oh, okay.
And then sometimes the ash won't fall off from
Mhm.
tapping it, so you just look like a jackass, like tap 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 tap, motherfucker, tap tap it,
So
and
I
it
have
just
to
doesn't
do
come
that
off.
like this, yeah?
You just slowly press it off.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's more.
It's more elegant, more
Elegant, yeah.
refined.
Mhm.
I'm trying to sound like it's more, and I forgot the word elegant. God, sometimes I watch these fucking videos, and I'm just like, did I forget how to talk?
Sometimes. That's
I
how
say I say so much. I say like so much.
that's how I felt Monday and Tuesday in Korean class. Monday and Tuesday were my last 2 days in Korean class,
Mm-hmm.
but I had just like horrendous like digestion problems, so I was on the toilet for multiple times in the middle of the night.
already decided we weren't going to talk.
Yeah,
about that.
but basically, like I'm so dehydrated and sleep deprived and just not in a good place that I'm trying to study Korean, and it's like I am completely wasting my time. It's like that's the word. It goes in one ear, one out the other. Like I'm trying so hard to listen to the teachers. Like nothing. I get what you're saying, but like I'm not getting like none of it's sticking. You know, I was just like, man, I'm fucking dumb right now. Like my brain is just not working at all. You know, so like, yeah.
Yeah.
Get your sleep, people. Get
Yeah,
your sleep.
sleep's
Drink some
good.
water. Stay hydrated.
Exactly, yeah. But also, I'm thinking like in the '60s, Germany was probably still getting itself put back together too, like a little bit. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
probably.
Because they
still had the Berlin Wall.
the Berlin Wall was still up. Like they had
For
to
a long
reform their
time.
government. They're still like the whole country was like annihilated practically, and like
15 years before that.
15 years before that, they lost, half of their young men. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I imagine, like, maybe they had something to do with the deal with Korea. Like, they're both rebuilding a lot, I don't know.
Yeah, when they are just dealing for the I heard the president, they are deal with the money. Like, we just got a huge money from Germany, and we sending the people. They are sending the. I mean, how can I say it? Like, is it sending the right word? Like the people to there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sending
The
over
workers.
workers,
Yeah.
or just giving workers
Yeah. And
work in
because like
Germany.
I don't know very well of the German the histories, but maybe the German the young people there couldn't work like the 3D works like the hard works. So
well, maybe
like,
they were just lacking a male population.
yeah,
because
maybe.
like we're talking, what are the numbers? I want to say
they
like
lost multiple millions.
I want to say like 5 million men.
something like that.
And well, not just men, but people in general, because the whole cities were getting bombed. All their men were in the military. Like apparently it was like just as bad in World War One too. But like by the end of the war, it's like you got just like kids. You got like 15-year-old soldiers because all the men have already died. You know what I mean? It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. I look at the numbers. Like, there's this history podcast again.
Oh,
I
yeah?
listen to. It's called Dan Carlin's Hardcore History,
Mm-hmm.
and you listen to. He's got a whole series on World War One,
Yeah.
which most Americans like. We study a lot of World War Two because World War Two is like super big and important in American history because it like after World War Two it established us as a world power. It set up the whole Cold War, the butting heads with the Soviet Union. It essentially redrew it redid a lot, you know what I mean? And it made our country like visibly what it is today.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot in my generation, we still had fucking grandparents that were alive
Mm-hmm.
who fought in it. So like we learned about World War II growing up, but nobody learned much of anything about World War One unless you actively went out and tried to learn yourself. And so listening to this podcast, even at the age of like 24, 25, I'm listening to this World War One podcast, and I'm just like, no way, that shit was insane. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, and then so I'm like, wait, Germany lost that war so brutally, lost like millions and millions, almost their entire like young male population, and then 15 years later they do it all again. I'm like,
It was like one generation of young people grow up and then they all die over again.
and
you know
then
what I mean?
yeah, I'm just like, how is there still a fucking country left? You know what I mean? And then the same thing with Russia. It's even crazier with Russia. I'm like, how many people? Because Russia lost millions and millions in
They
the
lost-
World War One.
they lost-
Then they lost millions and millions just to industrializing under Stalin, because
Yeah.
he like had like starvation things where he was kicking out its communism, and it's fucked up. And so many farmers and populations starved to death because they essentially kicked out all their wealthy farmers. Complicated things. So they lost millions and millions in World War One, millions and millions, like tens of millions in world between the wars, and just like with industrializing under capitalism. And then they lost millions and millions and millions again in World War II.
They lost
I'm like,
20 million.
Yeah, I'm
in
like,
World War
how
II.
is there still a country? You know what I mean? Like, it's insane to me. I don't know how it works, but it did. It did.
Yeah, pretty nuts.
Mm.
Oh, have you heard of the movie A Taxi Driver?
Taxi drivers, yeah, I
It
heard.
just came out, right?
Yeah, it's
movie?
like
Yeah.
it's the, for how can I say it? Like the movie is starting like with the Korea histories.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
And
It's
yeah,
about
it's
the-
like from in Gwangju.
Yeah.
It was
Oh, yeah. Gwangju, there was the
Uprising thing.
the uprising, or like the students had like a siege. They were like in a building, and the military dictatorship
yeah
army surrounded them, and they all
Right.
died or some shit like that.
And I don't
Spoiler
know how
alert.
can I say in English of that. Like he's
History spoiler alert.
the history, the spoiler. No, he's not history spoiler. I mean, like there was a one like
Okay.
making a newspaper. Like
Mhm.
how can I say for by English of that? And he's from Germany.
So he was a writer.
He's
A
a maybe
journalist?
writer
A
or for the
journalist?
journalist.
Yeah.
I don't know for how can I say in English of that.
A journalist.
Maybe yeah.
Yeah.
So and he have many pictures at that the time,
Yeah.
and it's starting the movie with him,
Mm.
and he just wanna be maybe he have many pictures of that the things many people they're dead and how they are fighting with the soldiers and the army.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And yeah, I couldn't see the movie, but I think it's a good if the people they are interesting about the histories.
Mm.
Yeah, I want to see it now.
Yeah.
I talked to a friend of mine, and she said she'd seen it, or she just saw it.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, what is it about? And she said the Gwangju uprising, and I just learned about it only, 5 months ago or something, in some documentary I was watching. And I was like, oh wow, I actually do know about that history, and so now I want to watch the movie. So
It's
Yeah.
actually different from in the Korean parts. I mean, like the oldest of Korean, they are really love of Park Chung-hee or like that the president.
Yeah, the
Because-
military dictator president.
Right,
Yeah, yeah.
because they are making like a growing. The economy was really really high to
yeah, yeah.
growing up of Korea
Yeah.
and making good for the like they just think, but usually the young generation of the Korean people they are don't thinking of that. They are just only like kill many peoples and they are so
Yeah.
many people they're
It's a
dead.
military dictatorship.
Right,
Students don't like that.
right,
Students are a little bit more.
right.
They're like, who cares about the economy? We got a military dictator. Fucking like, what the fuck?
we ain't got freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's crazy is like because Korea's had such a crazy history when it comes to politics and wars and all that shit. Like I think Korea's got like probably one of the strongest democracies, like than a lot of countries would like nowadays. Like for example, America. I think what university did a study in the study the results were basically saying like America is not a democracy.
It's not a real democracy. I think it was Princeton or Columbia or something like that.
What was the final title that they gave our
I forget.
politics?
I forget.
It was like a democracy is like the people vote, but like in America, it's not quite that. It's like the people vote, but also you have business interests and lobbyists, and you have people who actually, like you vote, but like your vote doesn't really count. It's more like the, I'm fucking up right now. What's the, like for example, Hillary Clinton got the popular vote, but Donald Trump still won.
Because of the electoral.
The electoral
college.
college, right? The electoral college, fucks things up and stuff.
There's
But,
also super delegates, like super
Yes.
delegates, like they
delegates and super delegates.
Yeah, it's like their votes mean way more. They're elected officials themselves, but it's like so they're an elected official, and then like dude, it's so fucking complicated.
Yeah, that I don't even fucking
Here's
get
the
it
thing,
completely.
and I brought this up with some other people. Everyone's like, "Oh, America's such a young country. Like, it's hard for them to like understand some of these old countries." And I'm like, I get it. Like, I'm a fan of history. I understand America as a young country, but we're one of the oldest democracies. Like, we're one of the oldest governments in the new world. I mean, like, there's been so many wars and political revolutions that have happened essentially in part because, like, you know, all of Europe essentially after they overthrew their monarchs, aside from maybe England, who had a parliament already, but they just slowly took more and more power away from their king and gave it to their parliament. They all remodeled their governments in the form of some kind of democracy or some kind of republic, and so all these first world countries, all of their governments are much more newer. And when you have an old democracy, it's like the more and more laws you get put in, the more and more stuff, the more and more baggage, it slows the whole engine down. It makes things more and more complicated, and it gives more and more time for things to get corrupted. And so it's like, I think even though America is a young country, our old ass government, I don't want to change it. I just want people to realize like its inefficiencies and reform it. You know what I mean? Like, it needs to have some reform, but you can't reform anything because our country's so polarized right now.
Mm-hmm.
And getting to what Gavin's talking about with Korea being such a strong democracy, I think it benefits the fact that it's a smaller country, smaller population, and the country's got such a much more universal culture.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The through line with America, and I'm sorry to go on such a long rant, I'm like hijacking the show. The through line, as far as me ideologically, with America is, yeah, we have different political agendas, different political parties, but the through line should be we all care about democracy, we all care about the ultimate success of the country, and we care about the democratic process. Like, more and more, as the more polarized the Republicans get and the more polarized the Democrats get in America, it's like they care less and less about the actual democratic process, it seems like, and more about just their team winning. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I
The red
see,
team versus the blue team.
yeah, it's like I saw people who were like very thinking one political candidate is not good at all and potentially corrupt and potentially should be in jail, but he or she is on my team, so I'm gonna vote for her. And when the other person wins, I'm gonna boycott or protest the whole thing. It's like, well, come on, like that's the process.
They
like,
won fair and square.
You won the
Yeah.
game, so now you're American, right? Are you protesting democracy at this point, like because your team didn't win? So it's complicated.
Yeah. But Park Geun-hye
Yeah.
just got what is the term? Because in America we would say impeached and taken out of office, or she resigned office. But like, was like what is the name? I guess maybe it's a Korean term.
You mean for she support of
For
the one?
for stepping down?
Yeah. She support one of her friend,
Yeah.
and her name is Choi Soon-sil, and
She
that is-
gave her like tax,
Invention or something.
like tax fucking. Like, what was the problem? I didn't quite catch the details.
Okay, I think the first problem came like a long time ago. She was a friend with her,
Yeah.
and like, but they knew like when they was a teenager, like a
Yeah.
long time ago when her father was the president too.
Yeah.
And
Her father was the military
We're
dictator.
talking about
Yep.
the former Korean president, a woman. She got taken out of power, and now she's in jail, right?
yeah, now she's in the jail.
She's in jail.
And her dad was the military dictator who was running Korea in the 80s, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So
And then they knew like a long time ago each others, and she just helping like for the many works, like she just take a money from the big company like Samsung, and usually now we just from the government they found like from Samsung, and she got a huge money from Samsung, and I don't know for how much is it really.
Uh,
And they found also like she have like a many banks in Germany and in other country too.
So she had like she was hiding money in other accounts. And
Right,
Stuff like that?
right.
Okay. Oversee accounts.
Yeah, and like Park Geun-hye, like our the ex-president.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know how can I say for that.
yeah,
Like
ex-president.
before, yeah, the
Former
president.
Yeah.
Yeah, she have a like a big meeting with the big company like a Samsung, LG, and Lotte, like so many the companies, and she just say like straight help her like these things. Like it's like a long stories, but I cannot just like telling you because of my English maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
okay.
yeah,
Take your
but
time.
yeah, but
I
the
wanna
president,
know,
yeah.
I actually want to know.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
super interested. in this.
So
'Cause
she
got
just
kicked out
say
of power while we lived here, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. All the Koreans are upset.
Yeah,
it's-
like my girlfriend protested, like millions and millions of people were showing up in Seoul in protest, completely peacefully, no riots, no cars got broken, super fucking peaceful protest, and it worked. The president
Right.
stepped down, and now we got a new president. And before I forget this, I want to let you finish what you're saying, but the new president, he's gonna tax churches next year. Fuck yes. Churches gotta pay tax, motherfuckers. Like what the fuck? If you're in Korea and you go on top of a building and you do a 360, you're gonna see like how many? 15 churches.
so many.
Just do one 360 of wherever you are in Seoul.
Yeah.
You'll see 15 churches. My girlfriend's dad works in a bank. He was like helping a church with their investments.
Mhm.
And then apparently he came home to Lily's and told Lily and her mom.
Mhm.
He's like, God damn, church has got tons of money. Like he was just like, I was blown away with how much money this fucking church had. Like this church was balling out of control. No taxes. They pay no taxes. And they also don't even pay their employees. Because what are their employees? Oh, you're spreading the word of God. Go get more people to join our church. They don't pay them because they're volunteering. You know what I mean? So it's like if you own a church, you're fucking balling out of control because you got basically free workers and you don't pay any taxes. But that's changed now. And now you're gonna have to pay taxes.
Yeah, usually I don't know for about the many taxes things, but it's for the good way. I mean, like before we have the government. We don't have like a many the system for the taxes or like it's like a I don't know how can I say like the black money for is like
Black
a,
market.
yeah, black market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many we lose so many money from like with the black markets.
Yeah.
So the president, the name is Moon Jae-in,
I gotta
and
remember that Moon Jae-in.
yeah, and before he was he working also together with Mr. No Moo-hyun, and I really love the president, and he was a good.
The new president.
No, he was like a 4 times before our the president,
Oh, okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah. and now he's not. He's actually like he giving like many good things. Like he just thinking of the like people,
Mm-hmm.
and also he looks like a Obama, I think so.
Obama?
Obama. I mean, he just always going like a more deep to the normal people.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
He not thinking like for to the rich people
The
or
rich
like
elite.
yeah. So it's like Korea have a like a
And he's black.
no. He looks like me. And I don't know how can I say for that, but
Yeah.
he always want to be a stay like with the normal people.
Mm.
And like Korea, we have the manner or like the high person, like I mean like the rich or like they are the different of the
Classes?
the classes.
Or you definitely have like
The people they are just
respecting
thinking
the-
like this.
Yeah, there's
You're
a very
right.
distinct
For the
like,
level or
oh,
for
you're
something
the
like
boss.
this.
So
Right.
even if you're wrong, I have to respect you in so many different ways. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But there are just a lot of ballers fucking
Yeah.
in Korea. There's some people balling out of control, and then there's some ajumas, cleaning toilets.
Right.
But they're all the same, which is different in America. In America, it's almost like you almost never see like a white person cleaning toilets. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
depends on where you are in the country. But if you're in California, you get very used to seeing a lot of Hispanic nannies, a lot of Hispanic, janitors or whatever. But in Korea, it's like, no, it's like everybody's Korean. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, yeah, that's one thing I noticed. I was like, oh, they don't have like, like a Mexican lady cleaning the toilets. It's just a ajuma. It's just an
Yeah,
old
yeah, yeah,
Korean
yeah.
woman. Obviously, not all
Yeah,
Mexican people are cleaning toilets as balling fucking Mexicans too. But in California, you'll notice that there's
Yeah.
like almost like a class by the races.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I mean, usually like we have to be respectful the people, but in Korea the lifestyle was not like that. So they're just thinking like for the level maybe. Like it's not for the older people, but some people they did like that. And so that's why also we have the movie with the name called Nomu Hyun with his name. And so the many people they are missing him. And the good things it's the president he works together with him before, so that's why he wanna just follow him,
Mm-hmm.
but he and that was like a maybe good lesson learned, because before our the president he didn't have many powers he was a good man and
But
he
he
wanna
wasn't-
do the best, but nobody didn't helping him, so he wanna he just tried to be going on his way, but the problem was he couldn't have many the power, I think.
Right.
So but
now
now
he's got power.
so
Yeah.
now the young generation and many people they are just know and knew for what can they do. So that's why we like maybe you saw on the news or like many the young generation they come out and they're just taking for the how can I say the candle with the fire, the candle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they want to be change the president.
Right. They protested.
Yeah.
Park
So
Geun-hye,
that's why
right.
we change the president, and it's going so many the young generation and many it's I think it's a good way, because
Yeah.
before the Korean people they are not they not interesting about like for the government, or they just thinking only for or by us like for
family or something.
only for the family. But now they are thinking really important for the country. I think America is a little bit same because of Donald Trump. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, everybody's very politically active.
Yeah. Everyone
Ever
got
since Instagram came out, you know.
Instagram and Facebooks
Yeah.
and the YouTube.
I think social media, it like when I my first election when I was like old enough to vote was Obama and John McCain, and let's just say of all my friends, like there was I mean I was only like 19 years old. You can vote when you're 18, but this was the first big election, you know, so I was 19 because it's every 4 years. And let's just say there wasn't near as much of a gung-ho, everybody get out and vote. I mean, everybody in my circles wanted Obama to win, and he won against McCain pretty handily, I believe. But ever since social media came out, everybody's like, oh, if I go vote, like, I mean, it's definitely a positive, but it's like, okay, like, how much of you wanting to go vote is just to get that I voted sticker and put it on Instagram?
Yeah. A lot of people like I voted Instagram. You know what I mean? Like I'm fucking doing it. You know, like I'm doing my bit.
I got a guy.
But it's like, it doesn't count unless I take a picture and show everybody.
Yeah, it's not real unless it's on Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah.
But I had a friend that I was a server in college, waiting tables, and I worked the same job when I came back from Korea the first time. And he was a stand-up comedian, and I think one of the funniest things I saw him say was, and I mean he probably put it better than I will, but he was just like, "Hey, by the way, anybody let me know if they get a hookup on the I voted stickers." Just so you can put an Instagram post, I voted.
He's like, I just want the sticker.
And also, I have one question. I mean, like, it's a different issues maybe. I mean, Donald Trump, he doing the trash talk with North Korea.
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah. So so it's the problem because of one of the crazy guys. I mean, like it's mean like a Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the crazy guy is from North Korea, the Kim Jong Un.
Yeah.
So they are just talking like a really like a trash talk.
Yeah.
So now from Kim Jong Un, he just said like there will be a just fight or they will be shooting the
Guam.
Yeah, to Guam.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
We're gonna
that'd
bomb
be-
Guam.
Dude, honestly, I'd be like, all right, I'll take that bet. Like, go ahead. Like, bomb Guam, like, you probably won't get a single missile through, and that'll be all the justification America needs to fucking take care of North Korea. And I
Wouldn't
just came back from Okinawa,
it
all
wouldn't-
my friends.
It wouldn't be just America either. If I think everybody would just be like, all right, you know, we've put up with you for enough. Fucking China, Japan, and South Korea and America. We're all just gonna be like, get the fuck out of here, North Korea. Like, we're fucking done with this shit.
It's weird. Like, I live here in Seoul. You know, how many miles or kilometers are we from
I
the
cannot
border?
count. Like
from
it's
the
really
border?
far, yeah.
From the North Korea?
From the
From North-
border.
From the border of North
We're in
Korea.
artillery range.
From Korea to North Korea.
Yeah,
I
from
mean.
Seoul to North Korea. It's not that far.
I think it's like a 400 kilometers,
Huh.
like
I heard-
500 kilometers from Seoul.
How long
Yeah.
of a drive is it?
It's not that
Like
long.
2 hours or less?
Not even.
No,
It's
no,
like
it's
an
more than
45 minutes,
I
an
think
hour.
3-4 hours.
Really? No,
No
I took
way.
a bus.
We
there.
went to the
Yeah,
North Korea?
No, we went to the
We went to the DMZ. Yeah.
I went to inside in North Korea.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
told you.
he
yeah.
worked there. Yeah,
I
he
swear,
worked.
we went not that long ago. I don't remember. I don't
Dude, you
remember
gotta
it taking that long.
Yeah, I don't.
I would have swore it took like less than an hour.
Yeah,
I guess
on
it
a bus.
depends
but
on.
I cannot count because I was I going inside with from Gangwon-do places.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like more closest from that places.
Hmm.
So I just took like a 30 minutes, like,
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
and I was the tour guide. It was a part-time job,
Yeah.
and I did the tour guide job, and it was really surprising. Before it was working from Hyundai,
Mm.
and they have they was really close with North Korea
Mhm.
because the first of the owner from Hyundai, he
Mhm.
was from North Korea.
Mm.
So he wanna just many support to them because he just
Mhm.
feeling like a familiar to
Yeah.
them. So he's sending like a
You guys are the same people.
yeah
Just-
like a
yeah.
cow like a million cow
I
to
think
helping them.
I heard this story. Yeah. Something
Yeah, a
like
long
that.
time ago.
Yeah.
And so from Hyundai, they was really close with the North Korea. So it's they wanna be just helping them. So that's why they have the work for the tour guide work and the place name called Kumgang Mountain.
Mm.
And it's really beautiful and it's natural places. And I never seen like this clean water from that places.
Huh.
Mm.
So and many like the oldest people they came to North Korea because they are missing the family maybe.
Yeah.
And I moved I go there I went there by the bus and it's really exciting because I can just see like how it will be a changing from South Korea to North Korea the sides
Mhm.
Mm.
and yeah everything is different. It's
Yeah.
looks the people they are talking like a same language and
Yeah.
they looking same of the faces
Mm.
but the feeling like the eyes it's different like
Mhm.
they are just have many questions to us and they just asking for about like for about me not for the country like because maybe they are controlling from the country they are controlling them
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
so they want to just know about like the information like
Yeah.
and I just heard at the nighttime they just have a meeting with the North Korean people.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I just heard it. And they have a meeting and they just talking for who they are meeting and what they are talking and for the information things.
Uh-huh.
So it was exciting. I just I was 23 like that age
Mm.
and I just did the part-time job with my good friends
Mhm.
Yeah.
and yeah I have I have one friend and he was really close and the last day he gave me a cigarette but I was not a smoker and he didn't cry but he just spoke to me like when you go to Korea, I don't know when we can see, but I really wanna just see you again like that, like
Yeah.
a really good friends and close friend. And
Mhm.
This is a North Korean guy.
he was from North Korea, so
Ah.
we some of the part we work together, like especially when we going to the mountain, and they have it's a big mountain,
Yeah.
and they have like a different direction. But if we have the tourism with the member more than 20 people, we going the different direction, the mountains, and it's really beautiful and like a high level for the hiking the stars.
Like for fun.
Yeah. So, and it was hard, but we went together with the North Korean people, with the South Korean people.
Mm.
And when we was the top of the mountain, we drink like a North Korea soju.
Mm.
It's more strong. Yeah, it's more strong. I heard when we going inside to the east side, it's more cold and the soju is more strong.
Huh.
I just heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why Russia, they're just drinking more like a strong vodka maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But what was it? Did they what kind of questions would he ask you? Like
I just wanna asking for how do you feel about the two
the
crazy
two
guys?
the leaders?
Trash talk. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like from the.
But this is back in the day. This is
This is before Trump.
this is
though.
before Trump.
No, Donald Trump also he just spoke doing like a.
No, I'm talking about when you were talking to the North Korean guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That was the different leader.
Yeah.
He was a different
But
leader.
what kind of you said that they would have lots of questions. Like what kind of questions would they ask you?
I just wanna be just telling you maybe it was for the different things. I mean, like when I going inside the North Korea, the people I don't know how can I say in English of that. I mean, when we going in abroad country, like they just checking why you come to Korea, and for what was the English?
Why do you
for
come
the-
to North Korea?
Yeah, they're just asking to the tourism,
Uh-huh.
and the checking guy was the soldier
Mhm.
from North Korea, and we have the sign it's a passport, but it's only the paper,
Mm.
and we just wrote it here the name, and the part of which side they are living,
Yeah.
and sometimes they have a how can I say they have they wrote different a different of the a wrong of the name.
Yeah.
So
The characters are different.
I mean it's the same characters, but
Mm.
they are write it down the different name. If it's Seoul, maybe they just put a SOOUL is a different
So a different way of spelling.
Yeah, the spelling.
Ah,
And
okay.
then we have to be paying $100, but it's for the how can I say, they just making the money with this bullshit things.
Oh, it was a scam.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there was a scam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay, that's very common. In other parts of the world too.
mhm.
I don't want to derail your story, but for example, when we were in Mexico,
Uh-huh.
a cop will just pull you over
Mhm.
and be like, "Oh, you were speeding," and you're like, "I'm sorry, but I wasn't." And they're like, "Yeah, but you accelerated so fast," and it's but we weren't speeding, so who cares? You know what I mean? It's oh, you didn't stop at that stop sign. It's but we did, you know. It's you're not getting it. I want you to give me money, and then you can go on your way.
Yeah.
it's they just want to bribe, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, here you go. But yeah, so they would spell soul wrong, and then be like, "Oh, where are you from? Oh, if you want to get in, you have to fucking pay $100."
Yeah, $100.
That-
Is it this size?
Yeah,
What
that
this
one.
say?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Flick it hard there.
Okay.
Yeah, when we went into the DMZ, it wasn't too far to at least to the DMZ, which
Mhm.
is still part of South Korea, at least your guys' side of the DMZ.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but we could see into North Korea, and we got to go into the underground tunnels that
Yeah.
the North Koreans were digging.
Three of them.
Yeah, 3 different tunnels, and we got to go into those. But the thing that was striking to me is, Korea is very good at preserving its wilderness, its forests, because you guys live very condensed cities, and very few people have houses. So it's like, even though there's a ton of people here, they're all in a city, and then you have tons of wilderness. And then even if you go to like a smaller town, it's not really a town. It's just a small city. Everyone still lives in apartments and tall buildings. And so I was really blown away with how much like actual free land you still have and how much forest you still have on all your mountains and hills and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you look into North Korea, the hills are all barren. Like, and the tour guide that was with us, he's like, yeah, if you notice, like we're looking just, like maybe a mile across, a fence.
A valley.
In a valley. And you look at all the hills over there, all barren. And he was like, yeah, it's because they had to cut all the trees down for firewood because they couldn't heat their homes. You know what I mean? It's because they don't have like fossil fuels to burn to keep their homes warm and stuff.
Yeah, it's so crazy. It's like within 1 mile, it's such a drastic change of
landscape.
It's a drastic change of like foliage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the reason why I want to hear more if you have more you want to talk about with North Korea. I didn't know you actually had been in North Korea. And
I also want to know like, do you have any fucking stories about being in the Korean military service?
Korean military service.
You said you had to like sleep in a tent in the middle of in the winter or whatever on the mountains, and you said it was cold as fuck.
Yeah, like it's like a normal from the Korean guys. I did like
all
2
Korean
years.
men.
Yeah, all Korean men. And I did like for 2 years, and I was in Icheon. Icheon, it's close from Icheon. It's not Incheon, it's Icheon. It's a different places.
Right.
Icheon is famous from the rice, and I don't know how can I say it, like making the bowl like a dojagi.
Bowl making.
Is it
bowl, like a really traditional like
style
bowl?
And
is it
clay?
I don't know how.
Or is it metal?
Yeah,
is it
it's
metal?
Like it's making like a real. It's a traditional Korean the like a how can like the flour the making like a.
Like
it's looking like that, but it's not like this things.
Oh, okay. So it's a traditional style like bowl.
Yeah.
Made in in the resemblance of a flour.
Yeah, and with rice, it's also famous from in that place.
Okay.
So it's Gyeonggi-do Icheon.
Just kind of like how Jeju's famous for its tea.
Yeah, right, like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it was like 2 years was really long for me.
Yeah.
Was really
2
long.
2 years is a long time to be.
But I heard like the people there said like if I will be into the army bases, or if I will be a real soldier, I have to be taking like 2 times for the summer and 2 times for the winter. So that's why we are training like for 2 years. But now it's less than 2 years. But now. But before, and yeah, I starting in November. And my part was working with the helicopter, and for the movie of Black Hawk Down, they are just jumping with the rope. They're jumping down, and I did that work from in the from the military service things.
Okay.
Like helicopter drops.
Yeah.
Okay.
What were you? Just like an infantry guy, like infantryman, or were you like a marine?
No, it's I'm just normal, like
just a normal soldier.
That is what is that?
Infantry.
Yeah, infantry.
Army infantry.
Yep.
Yeah, I met some Korean guy that worked at a tobacco shop.
Tobacco shop.
Yeah,
the guy. Okay.
And he was like, "Are you in the military?" Because he saw my ring.
Okay.
And I was like,
I see.
Yeah, and I was like, no, this is just my university ring.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, I have the same red ring, and I was like, for what? He's like, because I was a Marine.
Yeah.
So I guess if you're in the Korean Marines, you get a ring.
Yeah, it's like
ring.
a culture from the Marine after when they are just is also for the graduated for I don't know.
Right. If you go to like the Marine Academy or something.
Yeah. They're just making like their own ring, so that's why the people there just say, but they can just knew for he's from Marine or like something.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why the people they are thinking when they see you the rings you just went to the Marine or did or
yeah.
I just got back from Okinawa. And it's kind of startling because I was expecting to go to like Japan you know. And when you get to Okinawa, it's not like it's not a super small island. It's like 60 miles across. You know, it's like a 2-hour drive to get from one end to the other. But it's like long and kind of narrow, so there's only one like highway to get through. So I get there and I'm expecting like, you know, there's a military base here in Seoul and Itaewon, and maybe there's a couple more in other places in Korea, but it's not like there's a bunch. There's just like a few. You know what I mean? I get to Okinawa, and I'm expecting there to be like, oh yeah, there's obviously some big military bases here because you know that's where it's a very strategic place for the Pacific Ocean if you're a military personnel. Like from Okinawa, you could strike anywhere in like, you know, Eastern Asia. And so I knew that we had military bases there, and my friend is an officer in the Army. I met him in college because we were in the same fraternity. And like, you know, he when you're an officer or an officer in training, you go to university and it's like the military sponsors your university training, and then it's like you can have a bunch of different majors and major in different things that you want to, but you're also kind of majoring in how to be a military leader. So he had to go and do all these like extra like military drills and stuff like that, but he could still have fun and party with most of us. Like he felt like just a normal university guy. But then so he became an officer in the Army, and so I moved to Korea to do my thing, and then he moved to Okinawa because he was like, you could get stationed here, and he's like, I want to go to Okinawa. So he's there, and he's like, you got to come visit me. Okinawa's like, you know, a tropical, like really cool island in south Japan, way south of the Japan's mainland. So I was like, yeah, I'll love to go check it out. So I get there. This small island has got like 39 military bases on it.
Jesus.
Like 39. I get there, I'm like, this doesn't feel like Japan at all. Like we're just walking the streets and you'll see like Japanese signs and stuff like that, but I'll see like more I mean, we weren't in the main city. We weren't in Naha, like the main city, but we were near one of the 39 bases. But there's like so many guys, like Americans walking around everywhere. It just didn't feel like Japan at all. There's just so many military bases. And because my friend's in the Army, we ended up hanging out with only Army guys. So I'm thinking I'm going on a trip to Japan. Psych, I'm going on a trip to hang out with just Americans, essentially in like Hawaii 2.0. You know what I mean? Like it felt like I was just in Hawaii hanging out with military guys. And there's obviously a bunch of military guys in Hawaii too because of the military strategic parts and stuff like that. But if you're talking to those guys, like my friend, he's an officer, like I said. He worked in air defense, so like working on shooting down missiles that potentially North Korea could shoot towards us. Like they work on like all of the military systems to shoot those missiles down and the radar systems. And you talk to those guys, they're like, yeah, I think, and this is what he literally said. He's like, yeah, I think the whole North Korean thing, I think we'll be taking care of North Korea, and Korea will be reunited in probably like 5 months. I'm just like, what? I'm like, what? I live in Seoul. I'm like less than a 2-hour drive from the DMZ. Nobody's even batting an eyelash.
No one is
like, no one. You'd think like if that was fucking true, every fucking Korean citizen would be talking about this. No one has said anything.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, what? Are you sure? Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like nobody in Korea thinks anything's gonna happen, and you're telling me
just like always.
You're telling me we're gonna go to war and win the war in less than 5 months, and it's gonna be a reunited peninsula of Korea. I'm just like, what? I was just blown away, and they all like, and then. Meanwhile, I'm telling my friend, I was like, you should come up and party with me in Seoul because I'm hanging out with only military guys, and they all have a curfew, so we can't like go out and party proper.
So dumb.
I'm like on vacation. I'm like, let's go party, and they're like, we got a curfew. I'm just like, fuck. I was like, and
they're treated like children, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, let's go to a bar, and he takes me to a bar, and it's like the shittiest little bar where there's like 10 military guys, and then like 2 ugly military guy wives. And I'm just like, and so I'm just sitting there, I'm just like, dude, you got to come up to Seoul with me and party with me in Seoul and then he had one friend of his that had been to Seoul, and this friend, me and this guy hit it off. This guy named Andrews, because he was single and I was single and everybody else had girlfriends, and then he had been to Seoul before and he knew how great Seoul's nightlife is and how much of a fun city it is. And so he and I were both just like, Seoul is awesome. Like, blah, you could do this. You got all these different party districts.
You're like, I'm in Okinawa, but all I want to talk about is Seoul.
Is how fucking cool Seoul is. Yeah, like essentially, exactly. That's essentially it. And then some of these other guys are just like, oh, you want to go to Korea? Well, are you sure? Like, they're all convinced we're gonna fucking go to war any day now with fucking Korea. I'm just like, I don't know who you're talking to. I mean, maybe it's your job and it's good that you're like alert all the time if anything could happen. But they were all acting like my friend, he took a vacation off to come hang out with me, even though he wasn't going anywhere. He took the time off so he could like hang out with me and stuff and show me around. But he was constantly getting, he's an officer, right? So he's a leader, and he was constantly getting like calls and emails, and everybody's freaking out because apparently some like shit went down, like maybe the radar systems weren't working properly in their region of the base or whatever. And he's just like these people are like, dude, we need you. It's all fucked up. Like, we need you to come in here. And he was just like, look, if we were at war already and I died, you'd have to figure it out without me. So just, yeah, that's what you're going to have to do. You're just going to have to figure it out without me. But they were all like acting like, oh, there could be a missile coming right now. I'm just like, guys, I'm on vacation. Like, let's party. And they're like, there could be a missile. And I'm like, all right, so when's your curfew? Where's the nearest bar? Let's get going now because we got 30 minutes. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit. Those, dude.
The fucking American media, man. The American media, yeah, sometimes they're just like, we need a story. The story is fucking, Kim Jong-un. Am I saying that right? Kim Jong-un?
Kim Jong-un, right.
Kim Jong-un launched some missiles, and they're like, fucking, here we go, new war. And it's just like, and then like every single news broadcasting station is like, jumps on it, And they just blow it out of proportion. It's like, meanwhile in Seoul, nobody is fucking even talking about North Korea. Everyone's talking about the new election.
Yeah.
Like with the new Park Geun-hye's out, and then we just got, I already forgot his name. What's his fucking name?
Kim Jong-un?
No, the new president of South Korea.
South Korea for the Moon Jae-in.
Moon Jae-in. Yeah. I'm so bad with Korean names. I cannot remember them. It took me like 2 years to remember Park Geun-hye.
Yeah.
With that, everybody talking about her because she's getting it like, she's stepping down and they're protesting her. It's going to take me a while to learn Moon Jae-in. Yeah.
Meanwhile, so many people in America are like convinced that like women can do no wrong, and that we need to get a woman leader as soon as possible because they're infallible.
Yeah, they're not susceptible to the corruption that men are.
Yeah.
Psych in South Korea.
They literally act like all corruption is just because men have always been the leaders, and if you let women lead, there would never be any corruption, there would never be any racism. And then I'm like, well, what did you think about Margaret Thatcher, who was a female president or female prime minister of England, in the 80s, and
also Germany.
They had one in Germany too.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, she was conservative. I didn't like her policies, and she was terrible. And I'm just like, she was a woman.
She was a woman.
It's maybe women are not. Maybe women are. I'm not. My point isn't to say that women are bad. My point is to say that like men aren't inherently evil. You know what I mean? like women can be susceptible to any kind of corruption of power, just like everybody else. Like they're not a fucking superhero.
Yeah.
And
maybe next time,
presidents in jail,
maybe next time we will get a good female president.
Yeah. Why not? That'd be nice. I wish America like if Hillary was a better candidate, she definitely would have been like literally. There's only one reason why Trump won. It is because he was going against a very bad candidate. I mean, like he himself is a fucking horrible candidate. Like possibly one of the worst candidates America has ever put forward on the ballot, and he still won. Why? Because he was going against another horrible candidate.
And how do you think? I mean, like usually America, the president was like the the strongest guy of the world, and he have many works like
leader of the free world.
yeah,
as they
leader
would
for the
say.
few works. But
Yeah.
now I just think it's not like that leader.
Well, they are the chief,
The commander.
the commander in chief. So they ultimately have control over the strongest military in the world. So if you had to pick one person being the most powerful person in the world, yeah, probably American, whatever the American president is at the time.
Yeah. Or I would say maybe Putin.
Or
because
Putin,
Putin, he's in control of another huge country's military, and he's got like 100%.
he doesn't
power.
have like the checks and balances
Yeah, like-
that America does.
Yeah, like everyone is trying to like. Here's the thing, like Putin will politically assassinate his rival politicians.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody's getting popular with the people, he might just have him assassinated. He's
Yeah,
done it before.
He's done it a couple of times. Yeah.
If there's like some rich ass or billionaire type Russian figure who's like really wealthy and has influence because he's got so much money or something like that, Putin might just throw him in a jail and take all of his money. Americans are calling real corruption of power, like fucking, like the definition of corruption of power.
And like they don't even what's crazy is everyone thinks in America, because of House of Cards, which is a new television show that like everybody's obsessed with because it's fucking awesome. But like in House of Cards, there's like political assassinations, but it's super like hush hush assassinations. Like no one's supposed to know that like someone has had this person assassinated. It's supposed to be like super big secret. But in like Russia, it's like they like make example of people by assassinating them in like the most public setting way possible. That like, and it's 100% clear who assassinated him. It's like sending a message on how obvious this was a political assassination. So yeah, very different. So yeah, that's a big argument. You could say Putin's the strongest, most powerful person in the world.
But
Yeah.
a few months ago, everyone was up in arms or at Trump, saying that he was abusing his presidential power because he sent out a tweet essentially bad-mouthing Nordstrom, which is a clothing company.
It's a department store.
A department
company.
store company, because they stopped selling his daughter's
Yeah.
clothing. It's just like, okay, so, and they're like, it's corruption of presidential power. It's an abuse of presidential power. I'm just like, you're going to use that word that easily? He sent out a tweet saying Nordstrom Rack is a shitty company for taking my daughter's clothing line off the shelves. It's a tweet. Like I'm like, if that's abuse of presidential power, then what would be a political assassination? What would it be? The same thing? Exactly the same thing.
Same term.
Same exact term. What would be like? What if he like fucking like withdrew all of the stock market value from Nordstrom because he hated the company? That would be abuse of presidential power.
Or what if he just dissolved somehow with military might, like the Congress,
Yeah.
or like the judicial branch, like no more, no more checks and balances. We're just gonna have the presidency. It's like that would be an abuse of presidential power. It's like,
But a tweet,
sending a tweet is not the same thing.
Sending a tweet against a company you don't like for this reason is not abuse of presidential power. It's unpresidential. It's not worthy. It's not worthy of the chair of the president. Like the leader of the free world shouldn't be doing such petty shit. But it's not an abuse of presidential power.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
anybody can get on Twitter and say mean shit against a company.
Yeah.
When the president does it, it's like maybe it has more weight. It definitely has more weight. But so many people in the country dislike President Trump. They probably go to Nordstrom more. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, okay. I feel like I'm drinking with you, Hojun, and I feel like we're
Whenever.
fucking up.
Oh yeah, here. Where's a cup?
I can just bring one.
Yeah, there's a cup over there. I brought whiskey for all of us, so yeah.
I feel like we're fucking up with Hojun. We should have a bottle of soju, and we should be doing soju shots.
Yeah, why aren't we doing soju shots, Hojun?
That's also good.
Hoju had two demands to come on the show today. I mean, we're friends, but you gotta have your bargaining skills. And he wanted a free cigar and free drinks, and that's a good deal, I would say.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you should have been.
that's a
I'm
good deal.
Korean. We need soju.
We need soju up in this bitch.
We need soju, and we need what's like a common snack for Koreans.
Soju and what's a good drinking snack? Ramen, soju and ramen.
Ramen is also good.
You introduced me to
Okay.
ramen for breakfast.
I mean, when I was young, when I didn't have much money,
Yeah.
the most of the people there drink soju with a 새우깡.
Seukang, what's that?
That's like a brand of snack,
Ah.
and it's like a
What kind of snack is
This
it?
is not a
It's
proper
like
whiskey
squid?
glass, so
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna pour you out.
it's the I don't know how can I say for that. It's like a with the prawn style
Prawn?
snack. It's not a
prawn?
real prawn. It's the style of the prawn, and
Uh-huh.
it's like a
Is
like a Pringles.
So it's like a chip.
yeah, chip.
Ah, okay.
So it's
it's
not
like
a-
chips. Yeah,
but-
yeah.
Yeah, like a Cheeto style chips.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
like a
I don't know how
snack
to-
food,
yeah,
like
snack
junk
food.
food,
So
chips.
when I was poor Korean,
yeah,
I just drink like with the soju
yeah.
and 새우깡.
Seukang.
That's only like a less than 1,000원, I think.
Less than $1.
Less than $1.
Yeah.
So one bottle of soju, it's like a $1 200,
yeah,
1,200 won.
1,200,
Yeah.
so it's like $1.20.
Yeah. And
Can we
with
get that water
yeah.
on the side there? I'll fill it up. You and I can share. We're brothers.
Yeah, but what was it? 2 years ago,
Okay,
we
oh,
went
yeah.
to. I guess it was only one year ago. We went to Mud Festival.
Yep.
We just recently went to Mud Festival for the second time, but the first time we did a heavy night's worth of drinking, and then the next morning, it's like, what are we gonna eat for breakfast? And Hojun was like, let's get some ramen, and I was like, ramen
And I made it.
for breakfast? And you're like, yeah. I was like, no, man. like this is a democracy, and my vote was no. Like what the fuck? Who eats ramen for breakfast? Right? Little did I know, it's a fucking genius idea. Like he just completely is just like, I don't care about your vote, Gavin. I'm gonna go get ramen because I know it's the fucking move to make. So he goes and gets ramen. He cooks it for us. We're all hungover and we're just grumbling, like, what are we gonna eat for breakfast? I don't want ramen, that's for sure, but I'm not gonna actually get off my ass and put forth like an alternative, option. I'm just gonna complain, and then you just make all this ramen. We sit on the floor, Korean style, and we
Come the
start
smell
eating it.
and
And I'm just like, man, this is hitting the spot. Like my body is loving this ramen for breakfast. You know what I mean? Yeah, ramen's great for when you have a hangover because of all the electrolytes and the spicy and the noodles.
The sodium.
It just fucking hits the spot. Like your body craves like a Bloody Mary when you're hungover.
Mhm.
It also craves ramen, and it's great for when you're hungover.
I think it's the sodium.
It's definitely the
How about the American? I mean, after when they have a hangover,
yeah. We don't eat ramen, that's for sure.
what
yeah.
they eat, like a hamburger or what?
I don't know. I mean, I think
Racist.
I will say, when I was hungover in America, I would probably
Hamburger for breakfast, hamburger for lunch, pizza for dinner. America.
So every time, yeah.
I'm California. We have tacos for breakfast.
tacos. No, but I think okay, Bloody Marys is a very popular drink. I love Bloody Mary. Have you ever had one? You've never had a Bloody Mary?
I never.
What? Do you know what it is at least?
No, I don't know.
Jesus. Okay. Bloody Marys are amazing. It's like tomato juice with spicy. It's like a spicy tomato juice
Spicy
vodka
tomato juice.
drink
Well,
with
you make
jalapenos.
it with tomato juice, vodka, and then you usually put hot sauce, and then maybe a pepper on the rim.
and a couple of different spices like what are the spices?
They put a jalapeno, a shrimp,
was it? It's like
celery, horseradish.
no, Worcestershire sauce. I think.
Maybe, yeah.
Do you have
It's
the
hard to
mixed
say.
machine
I
in
can't
here?
remember. I think it's Worcestershire.
It's not blended. It's on ice.
Yeah,
I
it's on
mean,
ice.
next time if you're doing the podcast again, you guys can make and you guys can showing to the people.
No,
to the Korean people.
Oh, margaritas.
Yeah.
I mean a Bloody Mary.
It's a little bit difficult. I remember my first day drinking in Korea.
Mm-hmm.
It was Christmas, and so it was Christmas Eve. I'm sorry, it was Christmas Eve, and it was my first night. I was in Korea for 2 weeks, but the first 2 weeks I was living with my boss, and then my first night where I moved into my apartment. I went out drinking with some of my coworkers, and we went out drinking soju, and we were drinking hard because my my first like coworker friend was a fucking raging alcoholic. Like I have never met such a raging alcoholic in my entire life. Like even Koreans who are like, dude, you drink too much, bro. Like
And
he
then
was
telling
insane.
He was
Yeah.
telling me about this guy for months. And then
Like
I
I've
moved to
never,
Korea.
I never in my wildest dreams thought someone could drink so much fucking booze all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then teach kindergartners the next morning.
Yeah.
They're
He's
like,
telling me about this guy for months. Like,
Yeah.
And then so I come to Korea and I finally meet the guy.
Jesus,
And the guy's at a table and then he's like, what was his name?
Kelly.
He's like Kelly. And he's like, huh? He's like, why don't you meet my brother? He turns around, he goes to shake my hand, and he like almost falls over.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you weren't kidding,
Dude,
he was blasted.
he reaches out to
How he
shake.
can teach? I
He
mean, like-
reaches out to shake Garrett's hand and he just like, oh my god, like I'm getting farther and farther. And he started to like tip over and walk, and Garrett's like, no. And Garrett like tries to grab his hand.
and he's a big dude.
Never,
And he's
they
about
never.
and he's about to fall over in the middle
Oh
of the bar.
shit!
Yeah, he's a big dude from Alabama. But anyway, so he takes me out. He introduces me to Shoju, and we're talking like I barely know the guy, but this guy's calling me a little bitch instantly. He's just like, take a shot. I was like, dude, we just did like 3. He's like, don't be a little bitch. I was just like, god damn. Like, I was like, all right. So anyway, I was puking my brains out in his toilet my first night. Yeah. It's
Nice
like,
to meet you, bro.
that's it's like, so this is your place, huh? And like 5 minutes later, I'm puking. in
And
his
how do you
toilet.
think about the taste of soju?
It tastes like a mild vodka. But what I was getting at was the next morning, Christmas morning, I wake up and I'm so hungover. I woke up at like 8 and I was like, I can't get back to sleep because I'm so hungover. I was like, I need to get some breakfast because my refrigerator was completely empty because I had just moved in the night before. So then I was like, okay, I'll go to Home Plus. So I start walking and I see a convenience store and I was like, I gotta get some tomato juice. Because tomato juice is like, I don't know, like it just hits the spot when you're hungover. So I go in and I buy this humongous bottle of tomato juice and I'm just dying. I was like, there's the money. And I go outside and I pop it and I just start chugging it. And then I spit it out all over the sidewalk because it was sweet. Because with the tomato juice, they make it sweet, which is just like the most bizarre thing ever. It's like sugary tomato juice.
This is his culture shock story.
I was like, what the? I was like, what the fuck is this? You ruined tomato juice. Like tomato juice is supposed to taste like tomatoes, not sweet. It's like if I wanted a sweet juice, I'd drink apple juice. I'd drink grape juice. If I wanted something sweet, I'd drink something that comes from a fruit. I mean, like a
Tomato
sweet
is a
fruit.
fruit,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I know. Like a sweet fruit, but like they artificially sweetened tomato juice. I was like, blah, and I was like, that's not helping the hangover. And then I walked to Home Plus, and they weren't even open. So then I walked home.
It's more better of ramen.
Ramen.
Yeah, ramen. When you're in Korea, eat ramen. Yeah. I didn't know that. I would have. Now,
So the reason why there's a couple reasons why Americans and other people, mainly Americans, I guess, drink Bloody Marys when they're hungover, is because one, we have a phrase called "hair of the dog that bit you." It's like, so you feel like shit because you're hungover because you drank so much the night before, and so you're in pain like a dog bit you. And so they say the phrase is hair of the dog that bit you. The way that you like diminish the pain or get rid of some of the pain from the bite of the dog is you take one of his hairs. So you drank a fuckload last night of alcohol, so the dog bit you, and then the next day you take a hair. You get a little bit more alcohol to help you ease down. In medical terms, it'd be called tapering off of the drug. Like, say you
because
took...
alcohol's a drug.
Yeah, alcohol's a drug,
It's
and
true.
your body is really having withdrawals.
Your body's craving that drug. Like you're
Yeah.
giving it to me all night, and then you just stop. So your body's going through withdrawals.
Yep.
So that's why Bloody Marys are so great in the morning when you're hungover, because you're giving your body some spice. I don't know why
We only got 3
spice.
minutes
Yeah, we
left.
only got 3 minutes left. But I don't know why your body craves spice so much, but it really does. It craves spice and like electrolytes. So that's why I guess ramen tastes so
It's
good.
salt. Yeah.
Salty ramen and the spice though. The spice is something. So it's like just tomato juice doesn't do it. It helps a little bit, I guess, but you really want a spicy tomatoey drink with a little bit of vodka, like 1 or 2 shots.
Yeah.
So a Bloody Mary typically has got some hot sauce, maybe a salted rim or a pepper and salted rim. Bloody Marys are known for having a lot of crazy garnishes. Like, do you know what a garnish is? It's like when you get a fancy drink, they'll put like stuff in it to make it look nice, like a piece of celery.
garnish,
Yeah. So they'll put some celery, a shrimp, a jalapeno, maybe a salt rim or
lemon
pepper rim, a lemon wedge. And so you have like almost like a little snack with your drink. And it's like you got some healthy tomato juice, which will give you back some nutrients that your body is needing, some salts because your body's depleted of salt and it's dehydrated, and a little bit of vodka because you need some alcohol to get over the withdrawal. And so it just is it's great
so
for
good.
hangovers in the morning, you know.
But it's really like and
you drink 6 of those and you're hammered again, and then you're gonna have yourself a great day.
I mean, after drink, when I have a hangover, I cannot do thinking I need
another drink.
Yeah, so many works. I mean, ramen is so easy to making. You know, I just put the water and I just waiting 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
When it's coming a boil and then I just putting the noodles.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. Well, I when I'm hungover at home, I don't make myself a Bloody Mary. But if it's all right, if you're at on vacation or if you're partying and you're with some friends, you'd be all right, let's go out to breakfast. And I need a Bloody Mary with my breakfast. It's a little bit of vodka helps you get over the withdrawals, and then you develop an appetite again. You know, because when you're hungover, sometimes you're not even hungry. You're like, I can't eat. I just want to. I feel sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, we should wrap this up. Gotta wrap it up.
There's many more things we can dive into with Korean culture with our friend Hojun. We'll have to have you back.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I will.
Do you know what we need to do? And it was a shit show the first time we did it, but I'd love to do it again because it was a lot of fun. We need to get me, Garrett, you, and Chris, and we got to do a power hour.
Yeah. That's really cool.
It'd be super fun. It was super fun last time we did it with Adam and Chris, and I've been dying to do. I fucking love power hours, man.
I like them too because there's music. It's festive.
It's fun as fuck.
It is fun.
Yeah. You don't really tell many stories. You don't get into deep conversations.
Yeah, I will.
Every minute is just like shot.
Yeah, it's
so.
Yeah.
It's a great time. We'll have to do that next time. Chris almost came tonight, but he has his Korean class to study for. So
for tomorrow.
But yeah. So that was Hojun's first podcast.
Thank you very much.
We're gonna bid adieu. Sign off. It's our Friday night. Enjoy yourselves.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Adios.